At that point, I got in touch with an agent of one of the property sites online. It was the last house, and I fell in love with it. It was the cheapest house.
At what point did things go wrong?
Everything was going on well. And then, this fateful day, I put my feet on my rug, and it was soaked. Couldn't do anything.
So your house became a leaking boat, literally?
Literally, it was leaking from everywhere. I slept long and deep for this. I was trusting that since I had signed the contract, that was going to protect me. The sockaway was right behind my room, so there was water from sockaway seeping into the house. It was smelly.
Hello, beautiful family. Welcome to another episode of the Real Deal Naija podcast. On this podcast, we are unbundling Africa's largest real estate market. It is all about real talk about real estate. If you're an investor or you're a property owner or you're seeking to buy your next property, make that next investment decision, this definitely is your ultimate resource. Every episode is replete with information that will guide you on that next investment decision that you're about to make. So make sure that you stick with us. Today's episode is something that I am sure our audience will find very relatable, especially our Nigerian audience who have one time been tenants or are even currently tenants. As a tenant, I'm sure you've had your fair share of landlord palaver or drama, some really nasty experience, right? Today's episode, we're going to be going deep into that, and we're talking about landlords from hell. I'm sure you're already thinking about that experience you've had, so please feel free to drop your comments in the session. Our guest is going to be taking us through all of her experiences from house hunting and how her once upon a time dream home became a living nightmare, the challenges she faced and how she was able to navigate through that phase with the landlord, of course. Today, I have with me an administrative professional with over 15 years experience across media, cybersecurity, and the aviation industry. Please welcome with me, Ms Oyeleke.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
You are prettier in person.
Thank you.
All right, so I want you, before we go deep into this episode, right, I want you to give us like an overview, a background of your house hunting experience. How was it? What was it you were looking for? What did you eventually get? Then we can now dive straight into it.
Okay, so I think it was in 2016. Yeah, 2016.
Okay.
I was living in Lekki with my sister at the point. I just I just moved to Lagos and I was living with my sister. I think we had lived in Lekki phase 1 for maybe 5 years, and we decided to move further down. So we moved to the Ikate area. So I'd been living, I lived with my sister for about 2 years in her house. Then she now decided to move further. So I was working in VI at this point. So I didn't want to go further down because of proximity to my workplace. And I had grown to like the area. It was proximity to VI was good. I socialized in Lekki. So it was a nice area. Pretty decent. Houses were on budget. I liked the area. So I decided not to go with my sister. So at that point, I got in touch with an agent of one of the property sites online. He took me around. It was pretty stressless. I didn't really have much stress looking for the house. I think he showed me about 4 or 5 houses. It was the last house, and I fell in love with it. It was quaint, cozy. I like small houses, so it was just the right size. And then it was on budget. It was the cheapest house. So I liked it. I asked him to put an offer in, speak to the landlady. I think it was a landlady. So he did, and I paid. So that was how getting the house was. So it was pretty easy. It wasn't stressful at all.
Now, this seemed like your dream home, right? On budget, lovely environment, small space, and all that. So, at what point did things go wrong?
Okay, so I'd moved in, I'd done up the place. It was my first time living alone, so I'd done up the place. I used to have my friends used to come over, my sister used to come over. Everything was going on well. And then this fateful day, I think it was in September, the rains after the August break, the rains it was first week in September, if I remember. It was raining and I had just gotten home. I had relaxed. I was on my couch and it was pretty late too. Maybe it was around 12 midnight. So I was going to go into the kitchen to grab a drink. I was walking on my couch and I was going to go into the kitchen to grab a drink. And there was water on the floor. I'm like, oh, okay, well, where did this come from? It was just unusual. So I grabbed a mop, I cleaned it, and then I went back to my couch and I was working. So I think it was, must have been, I'd worked on my couch for maybe 2 hours and then I decided to go to bed. And then I put my feet on my rug and it was soaked. It was soaked. And I was like, what's happening? And then I got up. There was water everywhere.
What?
Sipping in from the ground.
Wow.
Everywhere, my whole house. Basically, the house was flooding.
Whoa.
And I was confused because there was nothing I could do at that point. It was late. There was nothing. I couldn't clean it because there was water everywhere. So I couldn't do anything.
So your house became a leaking boat, literally.
Literally, it was leaking from everywhere.
My God.
That night, since there was nothing I could do, I went to sleep.
In the water?
I slept on my couch.
Whoa.
I slept long and deep for deep.
Talk about joy in chaos. You were calm.
There's
of the storm.
Absolutely nothing I could do. So I just slept.
Wow.
And then the next day was a Sunday. So I called the agent. I wasn't in touch with the landlady. I didn't even know her. I'd never met her. So I called the agent and he said, okay, we'll see what they can do. So I was trusting that since I had signed the contract, that was going to protect me. So I didn't think anything of it. But I was traumatized. So I locked my door, grabbed a few things, grabbed my documents, grabbed a few coats, my shoes, everything was messy. So I grabbed my things and went to my sister's. So after that, I started calling the agent and then he stopped picking my calls. I was sending text messages. I couldn't reach him.
In all of this, what was your landlady's reaction to your complaint?
Silence. She ignored me for 2 months.
Whoa.
I reached out to the agent. I called him separately. He stopped taking my calls and I couldn't get a hold of her. Apparently she was a retired police officer. So she felt she was above the law. So there was absolutely nothing I could do in that regard. I got a lawyer to write to her because I felt that I'd signed an agreement, I signed a contract with her.
Yes.
And I was expecting that they were going to protect me. And if they weren't going to fix the house, I was expecting that I'll be paid my balance at that point. But nothing. I tried getting her number from the agent, but he just refused to give me her number. So I couldn't reach her.
Wow.
There was absolutely...
months.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so in the process of moving in, setting up your space and all of that, did you notice any sign that this was a potentially flood-prone house?
No, I guess I was naive because, like I said, that was my first that was my first experience renting. So I should have known. The Ikate area is a bit prone to flooding, but I had no idea. And I fell in love with the house. It was the size. Because I should have known because it was lower than street level. I should have known that was the hazard, the flooding hazard. But it just didn't occur to me. So in my excitement, I overlooked that.
No watermarks on the...
It was a new build.
Oh.
So there was absolutely no way to tell. Yes.
Okay. So how did all of this experience affect you? I can imagine you getting down from your couch, stepping into water, sleeping in the house while it was flooding. How did all of that affect you?
I was traumatized. I was traumatized because the Stockaway was right behind my room. So there was water from Stockaway sipping into the house. It was smelly. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
Oh.
It was a nightmare. And I locked the doors and couldn't go back in for 2 months. And I lost a lot. All my shoes were damaged. Some of my documents I couldn't take out that night. Everything was lost.
And there was at no point any form of compensation, refund?
No, not all. She basically refused to take my calls. I even had my lawyer write her, but nothing.
So looking back at this ugly experience, is there anything you would have done differently?
Yes, definitely. I could have sought second opinion. I basically did everything alone. I rented alone. I inspected alone. I rented alone. So, because I was excited, like I said. Also, I should have sought legal redress. I could have used the Lagos State Center for Mediation or Arbitration. But I guess I was naive, like I said. And I was young. And I was broke.
So there was a bit of desperation.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So did you think maybe if you had spoken with neighbors around, because, when people are inspecting properties, they're usually encouraged to talk to people around the environment. Did you think anybody would have?
Like I said earlier, it was a new build.
Okay.
So I was one of the first tenants
in that
apartment.
Okay. So now let's say you come across somebody who is about to sign a rental agreement tomorrow. Maybe I came to you and I'm like, hey, auntie, I just got an apartment. This is my agreement. I want to sign it. Now advise me based on all that you wish you knew and all that you now know.
Definitely make sure that you speak to other people around the area. Know your landlord in case anything happens. Have a lawyer.
Very important.
Have a lawyer. Basically, yeah, and then cheap is not always cheap. It's not always the best.
It's not.
It's cheap is as cheap does. Yes. So yes. And then do not take a house during the dry season. You would be surprised when it starts to rain. Yes. And if you're going to take the lower floor, ensure it's a good build.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great. So this was how many years ago?
This was in 2016. Happened in 2016. So a lot of years ago.
Many years later, still no form of compensation.
No.
All right. So this is why it is important for you. We've emphasized on so many episodes that before you venture into anything real estate, rental, property purchase, investment, no matter how basic it is, you need to engage a professional, right? Because they know these telltale signs and all. So if you want to know how to look out for a property that might collapse, be flooded, I want you to go back to one of our videos. The link is going to be in the description box. Make sure that you watch that video because it is very, very filled with a lot of information that will guide you on what to look out for when buying a property or when you're even moving into a new space, even if it's a new apartment like ours is. So many people have wonderful, funny landlord experience. Mine when I was in school, I have friends around. I was living upstairs, and my landlady will literally come and count the number of shoes that are in front of my door, because according to her, she said the decking cannot hold a particular capacity of people. So she counts. At some point when I'm having more than 4 people, I'll tell them to bring their shoes inside, right? And I'm sure that's why some people usually avoid houses where the landlady or the landlord lives in. So if you have any funny stories, or you know somebody who has a funny story, or not even funny, some crazy experiences with landlords, landladies, right? I want you to drop it there in the comment section, and also tell us what you did, how you were able to navigate it. Were you compensated for it? Did you also cause trouble for the person? Did you do fire for fire? Or how exactly did you go out of that situation? Someone might find your comments insightful. Make sure you keep engaging, like, share, subscribe. You stand a chance to win a coffee mug when you comment the word coffee mug. When you do this, you again stand a chance to win a jumbo coffee mug, which will be delivered right to your doorstep, courtesy of our proud sponsor, Block House. This is something you shouldn't miss out on, because this is a cup that, you wake up, smell the coffee, you love the environment and all that. So yeah, keep sharing, keep subscribing, like, and comment. That's it on today's episode of the Real Deal Naija podcast. Remember, here we're unbundling Africa's largest real estate market. This is your ultimate resource to guide you for that next investment decision and property purchase within the African real estate space. Until I see you on another episode, my name is Evelyn Oloyede.